It's the last semi-final of Kitchen Wars. Marco Pierre White's search for the best couple running a restaurant in the UK. So far, 9 couples have faced the toughest service of their lives in the battle kitchen. 3 passed the test. Tonight, 3 more couples go head-to-head for the last place in the grand finale.
Why are you sweating, Barrington?
I'm coming near time.
It's now or never.
Someone's trying to sabotage us, I think.
It's gone to pot, I'm afraid.
Gone to pot?
It really has.
Early morning in London and 3 restaurateur couples are on their way to Marco's battle kitchen. The first couple are husband and wife team Gavin and Lucinda Gregg.
From the other 2 couples, I'm expecting fierce competition, a little bit of rivalry. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, we're all professionals. So yeah, I think we're definitely in with a chance.
They're up against partners Julia and Angela.
I don't think I'll be intimidated by any of the competition. We know that the standard of food and service that we've got is, as far as we're concerned, is, you know, a high standard, and our customers are happy with it.
And finally, Chef Barrington and family friend Eleanor.
The plan for me today in the kitchen is keeping it simple, bold flavours and getting it out there on time.
With the last place in Marco's grand finale at stake, it's the moment of truth.
So, it's all about to start. We have 4 hours preparation time. Should be a walk in the park, 4 hours. What do you think, Barrington?
Should be.
Easy.
Yeah.
Then, you have to feed 25 people in 1 hour, 45 minutes. They haven't given up their evening for you to spoil it. Have they, Mr. Gregg?
No.
So 4 hours, good luck. And just remember one thing. 2 of you are going home. Exciting. Cook well.
Marco has allocated duck, sirloin steak and halibut for tonight's main courses, but only enough for 25 portions in each restaurant. He's allowed the couples to devise their own starter and dessert, while each front of house makes sure their restaurant is set. In the kitchens, the chefs each have a kitchen hand to help with slicing and dicing. To have any chance of making the grand finale, the next 4 hours are going to be critical.
I'm going to give you some stuff and you can just start on with that.
Cling film these and put them back in the fridge.
So basically, I've done a time sheet.
The couples will have to make full use of the time, butchering, marinating and pre-cooking. Anything left unprepared will have to be done in tonight's service.
Strategy will compensate for talent. Talent will never compensate for strategy. If they don't have a strategy, it doesn't matter how nice their menu is, they will fall.
In the purple kitchen, while front of house Julia sets the restaurant, Chef Angela is calling on all her 30 years experience to get ahead.
This is how I work. I always do a hit list and just run through them, and I know everything's done for service.
10 years ago, Angela opened Peak Restaurant in the village of Llanberis in Snowdonia with her partner Julia Roberts. Angela spent most of her career cooking in some of London's trendiest celebrity haunts.
I cooked for Lenny Henry, Dawn French, John Hurt, Nigella Lawson, the Queen, the band.
But while Julia Roberts has a famous name, she lacks Angela's experience.
I've never actually worked a front of house restaurant, and it's just something I've picked up as I've gone along, really.
After years of living the quiet life, Angela is keen to have one last stab at glory.
It'll just be good to know that I can still hack it.
She's a brilliant chef. She really is.
Just trim it to here, and then put them in a bowl and give them a good wash.
Angela, she's very accomplished. She's worked in some great restaurants with some great chefs. Julia. She's the one, in my opinion, who doesn't have that strength, doesn't have the experience. But maybe Angela will protect her.
Yeah.
In the Gold Kitchen, while Eleanor gets to grips with the restaurant, Chef Barrington is getting to grips with his surroundings.
I've got my focus on what I need to do. I need to get this mise en place done, and I need to feed those 25 diners.
Barrington runs Discovery Bay, a Caribbean restaurant in Huddersfield, with front-of-house Eleanor Dennis.
Barrington's my dad's best friend. He's known me since I was born.
And over the years, Eleanor's come through her teens and whatever, and now she's come to work for me in the restaurant. So it's like just a little, like a family affair thing that we're doing here.
After years of working in sales, Barrington is finally living his dream.
At the age of 18, I decided that I wanted to run a restaurant. So from that day, I saved £20 out of every £100 I earned over a 20-year period. And that was when my dream started. I could jack in my job, and this is where I'm at with Discovery Bay now. Yeah, get the best out of those. And tarragon, I want the tarragon off its...
All in separate bowls?
All in separate bowls.
It's going to be tough for Barrington. He's self-taught. But Barrington has got what he's got, through hard work, through sheer determination, through his love for food. Eleanor, she's a little weak. And if she doesn't up her game, they will be going back to Huddersfield.
In the Blue Kitchen, experienced chef Gavin is preparing his starter of smoked salmon and caviar roulade.
This cling film's a bunch of crap. You've got to know this cling film is absolute, pure and utter pants.
In the Kent town of Sevenoaks, Gavin Gregg runs a restaurant called Gavin Gregg, with his wife and business partner, Lucinda Gregg.
Because we're both really different, we work really well together. Gavin's very bossy, and I just do what I'm told.
She's my rock. She tells me what we need to do. She looks after the kids, looks after the accounts, looks after all the parts of the business. And really, I'm very lucky. I've got to come in and just cook.
After 12 years running his own restaurant, Gavin is very comfortable in his own skin.
I'm happy with what we do. It's not going to suit everybody. Some people want the Savoy. Well, then don't book me.
Who's the better cook, you or Dad?
Mum.
Have you ever worked with such shit cling film in your life, honey?
The last time Gavin cooked for Marco, his dish was overcomplicated.
Mr. Gregg can cook, but let's not forget he was classically trained. I hope that he simplified his menu this time. Otherwise, he will fall. 2 more hours, and then I will blow the whistle.
With half of their 4 hours already gone, the restaurants are being set while the chefs are making use of every available second. Angela is keen to begin prepping her starter of Panzergau and goat's cheese filet with berry black pudding and baby beets.
Where do we put the beetroot?
Cleaned it, and then I've put it here for you, Chef. Check the food. That's gone for a walk in the sun, hasn't it? I'll check it properly.
Someone seems to have nicked my beetroot now. Beetroot's gone missing. I had my baby beetroot and Jake had washed it for me and left it on the table, and now it's vanished. Nobody else has seen it.
Coming up,
Did you see any baby beetroot prepped?
Not guilty.
the couples race to be ready for service.
Will you be ready in 13 minutes?
No.
Surprise, surprise.
And the diners arrive.
Julia,
Yes, Marco.
they're complaining to me.
It's the last semi-final, and 3 couples are competing for 1 place in Marco's grand finale. In just under 2 hours' time, the diners will arrive expecting a sumptuous 3-course meal. In the Purple Kitchen, Chef Angela is feeling the pressure. She's lost her baby beetroot, a key ingredient in her goat's cheese phyllo starter.
What? It's turning into a nightmare.
Oh, somebody's taken it away, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, there's the beetroot over there in the liquidizer.
Did you see any baby beetroot prepped?
Prepped beetroot?
Yeah, on this table.
No. We used whole beetroot that we had.
Yeah, no, not just like...
Baby beetroots, I'm not using those, so not guilty.
After wasting 30 minutes precious prep time, Angela makes a discovery.
We need to take the beetroot out of the bin and give it a good wash.
What am I taking out the bin, chef? Oh,
Beetroot. It's in the bin.
Did it go in the bin?
Yes.
How'd that happen?
I have no idea.
I haven't got a clue what I got in there, so I must trying to sabotage us, I think.
And can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Just want to give you a time check. You've got an hour 45.
Hour 45?
Yeah.
OK, thank you.
Thanks.
Marco doesn't just expect high standards in the kitchens, as Eleanor is only too aware.
Dirty tablecloth. Not good, Barrington. What do you think?
Yeah, can be started.
We can sort it.
Should be, shouldn't it?
On his kitchen truck in Leeds, Marco expressed concerns about Eleanor's confidence running front of house.
Is she strong enough?
She's strong enough.
Are you sure?
I'm definitely.
Earlier today, Marco met Barrington and Eleanor to find out if they'd addressed his concerns.
There was a chink in your armour, wasn't there?
Yeah.
What was the chink?
The chink was the sauce. I think there was a lot of
The
sauce.
chink was Eleanor. You said you'd work on her, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You haven't said much today.
No, I'm taking it all in.
Do you know the menu?
Yes, I do.
Like the back of your hand?
This is the only opportunity the couples have to make changes to their menus. Barrington plans to make 25 guava and lime zest cheesecakes, but Marco's not convinced.
Tell me, you're doing individual ones?
Yeah.
And you can do this for 25 people in about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Because that's the reality. And I don't think he will change anything. He'll stick to his guns. He'll feed us what he wants to feed us.
I cook a certain way, and that's it. This is my mum and my grandma's cooking. Home-cooked food, that's all right. I'm happy with that. No.
With no changes to his menu, Barrington cracks on with his main course of barbecue stuffed duck breast with callaloo, a Caribbean leaf vegetable.
You could drive a bus through there.
I've got to stuff it. I'm going to get in there.
You could use a steel, couldn't you?
Pardon?
You could use a steel and then pipe it in.
I know it could do, but it won't burst. It won't come. It won't be overflowed. It'll look nice.
It might pour out, you see, because the incision you've made is enormous.
It won't.
You sure?
Yeah.
1 hour to go.
Barrington, if I pass out, don't worry.
I'll look after you.
Gavin is also a man with a plan. He's making béarnaise sauce to complement his main course of steak and portobello mushrooms.
I'm putting a little twist on the béarnaise.
What's that?
I'm going to use a little bit of truffle oil.
Ah, my least favourite ingredient.
I love it. I love it in certain things. Some things it doesn't work, but obviously risottos and in béarnaise.
Gavin, when I first met him in my truck, he flexed his muscles. He showed off his ego. But let's not forget, he ran out of time.
In an attempt to simplify, Gavin had planned to cook his halibut in a water bath. This foolproof method of sealing the fish in a bag and cooking it in warm water would allow him to pre-cook all his fish at the start of service.
Slow poached. You've only got 1 hour 45 minutes.
We're going to use the water bath.
No, the kitchen has a water bath. So therefore, you're asking me to allow a piece of equipment which would give you an advantage and then a disadvantage. I'm not allowing you to have your water bath.
That's a shame.
They're the rules. I make them. It's my house, it's my chicken, as Mr. Albert used to say to me. I want to see you cook. I don't want to see you take plastic bags with food and drop them into water and poach them, and then get your scissors or your knife and cut them open.
I think with the slow poached fillet of halibut, we do oven roasted.
Are you worried about losing the water bath for your halibut?
No. It's the rules, and Margot said you're not allowed to use it. Hopefully he takes the grill away from the other set, though.
How's your boy, Mr. Gregg?
He's doing really well.
He looks a little under pressure to me.
He is. He's a lot to do.
30 minutes to go.
You can carefully put the potatoes through this white smoothie, yeah?
Yes, chef.
Carefully, come back, because it's hot, yeah?
With her baby beetroot recovered from the bin and washed, Angela is trying to claw back the lost minutes.
Oh, I'm catching up. Got lots on the go at the moment.
Time is tight because they plan to serve a pre-starter or amuse-bouche of crab and avocado mayo.
Not risking too much, are we? But the one thing you have done is created the pre-starter, which gives you a lot more work to do, especially you. If you deliver what you're promising me, that will score you a lot of brownie points. But let's not forget one thing. It could be that pre-starter which sinks you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. And the idea of the amuse-bouche was so that the customer would have something to eat to give you more time to seat people, and for me to get the starters ready.
Yeah, but do you feel you've got enough time to, you know, to do that?
The amuse-bouche, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not a problem.
It's a risky strategy, but Angela and Julia have decided to keep the pre-starter on their menu.
Tell me, Julia, you're serving your pre-starter?
Yes.
You want me to set up for it?
It was for the fingers.
Oh, fingers?
Yeah.
You can serve a finger bowl?
No.
That would be nice, though, wouldn't it?
All the couples still have lots of work to do, and time is of the essence.
15 minutes to go.
It's reaching fever pitch in the kitchen, and outside the first diners are starting to arrive.
Will you be ready in 13 minutes?
No.
Surprise, surprise.
Reach your pants down and speak.
Why are you sweating, Barrington?
It is warm in here, and we're coming near time.
Time's running out for Angela too. She hasn't even begun to prepare her crab and avocado pre-starter.
Are you going to knock the crab on the head or serve it?
It's up to Angela.
I think we knock it on the head.
It's a 50-50 decision.
We'll knock it on the head then.
So you're knocking the crab on the head? Yeah. Good. Stop everything. Your 4 hours is up.
Grueling. It was grueling, was that? But we've nearly finished everything. I think we've just got as desserts just to do another 19 desserts, but we've just got all the mixtures done just to plate that up.
After making the difficult decision to drop the pre-starter, Angela and Julia are almost back on track.
I'm behind on a couple of things, but I'm not worried about that.
Despite having to change their cooking methods at the last minute, Gavin and Lucinda got through a mountain of work.
I've got 5 onion rings to finish, but I'll take that.
Tonight's diners have been hand-picked from a cross-section of foodies and critics and will be acting as Marco's eyes, ears and taste buds.
Hopefully you're going to get great service and great food as well, so you know, if both are there and some nice wine would make a great evening.
I used to be a restaurant manager, so I'll be looking at the service more than... I will be looking at the food, but I'll be marking on their presentation of how they look as well as the food's presentation.
When I go to a restaurant, it's the food. The food.
The time has come. In a few minutes, you will know why I call it my battle kitchen. There is nowhere for you to hide. 75 diners, all wanting to be fed well. One of you will be joining me in my grand finale. Let service begin. Good luck. You're going to need it.
Good luck, Spot.
Good luck.
During service, diners will be arriving at different times, increasing the pressure on the front of house and kitchen.
Just for 3 of you. Yep, that's £100 to your table.
Fine, there is a leg on this seat.
Added to that, Marco will be patrolling all 3 restaurants, canvassing opinion on the food and service.
We've got everything on the menu this evening, but we had a slight technical difficulty in the kitchen, so unfortunately the amuse-bouche won't be served this evening.
The amuse-bouche is crab, avocado, mayo in a baby gem leaf topped with crispy cheddar. It sounds really nice.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Gavin is finishing his final bits of prep. But in the restaurant, Lucinda is preoccupied with prettying up her tables, and there's a queue forming.
Lucinda, you have diners waiting.
Yes, Marco. Welcome to Gavin and Lucinda's restaurant this evening. Table for 3. Yes, lovely.
With Lucinda slow out of the blocks, in the Gold Kitchen, Barrington's trying to get ahead of the game with his starter of callaloo and coconut soup with red snapper.
Barrington, is your soup finished?
Yes. Just coming up to heat. Just coming up to heat.
I see. So you're going to have a big pot of soup hot on the side?
Yeah.
Answer me one question.
Yes.
If there's 45 minutes between the first starter and the last starter, does that taste the same?
It'll get better as it's cooked. And it would even get better the following day or the day after when all the flavours go in. No, it's over and done with then. So the more it cooks, the better it will get.
Angela is also trying to get ahead.
What I'm doing here is getting the black pudding ready for our goat cheese starter. I'm just going to seal them all, and then I'll pop them in the oven as soon as they're away.
Hello there, table 4.
5, please.
5?
Yep.
OK.
But she might be waiting a while for the first order.
There we go. Yeah. Yep, if you like to follow me. Thank you. 5. Where's my 5? Oh, I do apologise. If you'd like to take a seat, I'll set aside a 5 for you.
Okay.
OK? Hi, table's ready for you. Thank you.
In the Blue Kitchen, the starters of smoked salmon have yet to go out. But Gavin is already cooking the meat and fish for his main courses.
Don't tell me, Mr. Gregg, you're going to pre-cook all your steaks.
No.
I was just looking at these.
I'll be getting them up to temperature, and I'm just bringing my steaks, because you're going to be eating them very shortly, away from fridge temperature. But no, I'm not going to cook them.
This is our menu this evening.
Pre-cooking meat and fish is a method used when catering for large numbers. It will save Gavin time later, but it can compromise quality. Angela finally has her first order in, but in the restaurant the queue is growing.
How long have you been waiting?
10 minutes now, at least.
Julia.
Yes, Marco?
They're complaining to me.
Coming up, confusion reigns in the Battle Kitchen.
It's gone to pot, I'm afraid.
Gone to pot?
It really has.
It's looking like be here for a while.
In Marco's Battle Kitchen, 3 couples are competing to serve 75 diners in just 1 hour, 45 minutes. With only 1 place remaining in the grand finale, the competition is fierce. 30 minutes into service, and diners are still waiting to be seated.
And I'll be right back with you in 1 minute.
In the Blue Kitchen, Chef Gavin is quickly sending out his smoked salmon roulade starters.
Starters, Lucinda.
Got 3 salmon. This is the salmon roulade. Enjoy your starters.
How's my banquet chef doing? Everything okay?
Not bad.
Despite telling Marco he is preparing his mains to order, Gavin has pre-cooked meat in his kitchen.
You are pre-cooking your steaks?
I've got 1 extra on the go, yeah.
You've only got 1 on order. You've got 3 in the pan.
2 extra on the go, sorry.
Don't try and pull the wool over my eyes.
Gavin keeps quiet and carries on regardless. Barrington has yet to send out his first starter and is beginning to feel the heat.
It's extraordinary. Barrington, you'll be all right once it gets to the main course, won't you?
Barrington is pan-frying snapper to go with his coconut and callaloo soup starter.
It's nice to see that you cook, rather than turn yourself into a banquet chef. Julia,
Yes.
there's food going cold.
I have not heard the shout.
With a queue of diners still to be seated and starters to serve, Julia is struggling to keep control.
What's new? Table 2. There's the goat's cheese. There's another goat's cheese.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Lovely, thank you. I think you're... Ange, I think that was table 1. You're on Paul on the table. Yes. I'm so sorry. Never mind. Okay.
Each diner is getting the same Welsh goat's cheese phyllo and black pudding starter, but it looks like some will have to wait longer than others.
Your partner's struggling, you better have a word. Tell us to push that bit harder. One hour to go.
Callaloo soup.
Barrington and Eleanor are finally on top of their starters.
Thank you.
We're in a stride and we'll plod on and we'll finish service, definitely.
But there's a problem.
Well, it seems rather rare.
Is it undercooked?
Yeah.
You better take it back to the chef then.
Yeah, I will do.
Tell them you'll replace it.
Yes. I'm
Barrington,
very sorry about that, Bernie.
you've
Yeah.
got a complaint?
Thank you.
Run out of soup, but I can do him another piece of fish if he wants. I think I put too much in the beginning ones.
You did, Barrington.
Hi. I'm very sorry about your fish. It was undercooked, but I'm afraid we haven't got any more of the soup left now. We can do you some more fish, but I know you're having fish as a main.
No, yes, we're all having fish.
Fish as a main, yeah.
I'll just leave it.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
So I'm very sorry about that. Thank you.
I would have expected a replacement and not say we're out of that. No, it's finished. I know we're last in the restaurant, but there's no alternative to more soup. There is no more soup. So I am very disappointed, yes. But there we are.
While Barrington is stumped by undercooked fish, Angela has overcooked hers.
I've caught it a little bit on the top, unfortunately.
Just peel that skin off. It's
Yeah, no, I'm going to...
You know how to get out of jail, don't you?
With limited numbers of meat and fish and her restaurant finally full, Angela will have to attempt to rescue the halibut or risk being one main course short. And in the restaurant, Julia seems to be a table short.
That steak's medium.
Medium, OK.
What, duck?
I've just got a pen. Steak rare and 2 halibut. What table?
Well, you've only got one table of 3.
Oh, Christ.
There, to my left, to my left. Number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4. Is it? No, this one here. No, it's over there. In the corner, Julia, the 3 men.
Sorry, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Marco.
It's a pleasure.
Excuse me, gentlemen. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Béarnaise, that's Béarnaise.
Any spoons for the puree?
No.
Okay.
After cooking his main courses banquet style, Gavin is ahead and serving his steak with Béarnaise sauce.
Your steaks have gone cold, haven't they?
I put my hand on the back of them, I think they're okay.
If you think that's okay... And how's yours, madam?
My steak was a little bit overcooked for my liking, and I...
How did you ask for it to be cooked?
Medium rare.
And how's it come?
It's on the well done side.
Mr. Gregg, he's getting the main course out to a standard. Maybe a little overcooked, maybe a little colder than I would like them.
Enjoy your meals.
Lucinda started to wobble at the start, but you know, she stabilised herself, she's looking after her punters, she's working the tables well.
Yes, we had some more pom puree for you. There's a little bit more jus. And there's your béarnaise.
While Lucinda looks after her diners, Eleanor looks after her chef.
Barrington. Barrington.
I know.
Sauce.
Pass them back here. Yeah, I'm going to have to put those in now. I missed this sauce off.
Yeah.
She saves Barrington the embarrassment of sending out his steak without the rum sauce.
But I don't think so.
Have you sent any main courses yet, Barrington?
No, just about to.
Jules, where did you take that last lot of food out to?
6.
Oh, it was table 1. OK, start going. I've got no table number at the bottom of that. OK, start going table 1 and I'll give you 4 more.
Table 1?
Yeah.
It's not table 1. They've had their food. They're on... I've cleared them.
So who's waiting then?
Well, I haven't got a 2.
You haven't told me table 1's ready. Table 2 had the one with the black pudding, salad.
Yeah, that's 4 people.
4? I've got 5. I've got 5 people.
Julia.
Yeah.
They're complaining.
It's gone to pot, I'm afraid.
It's gone to pot.
It really has.
Yeah, you can sense the stress in the atmosphere, but the food was, you know, really good presentation. A good combination of food with the black pudding, yeah.
That table there haven't had their starters yet, and we've just been presented with starters, which is fine by us because we're absolutely starving, but we haven't actually placed our order, so...
OK, I'm going to need a hand to telling me what I'm going on.
OK.
So I don't mess you up.
OK, so just to let you know, it's 20 past 8. I'm going to have to really rush it.
30 minutes to go.
With time fast running out, the Gold Kitchen have only just served their first mains of barbecue stuffed duck breast and halibut with Creole sauce.
Are you under pressure, Barrington?
No, I'm working my way into it. Working my way into it. Tables are being served already, so I'm glad at that. The fish, another table's in there, the fish is getting ready for those, so I can't miss the zoom at the beginning. I'll get into it, I'll get into my stride.
So what you're saying is you're a long-distance runner, not a sprinter?
Yeah.
I haven't got my main course. I guess we've been waiting, I don't know, half an hour or something. And to be honest, I was looking over there at the other restaurant and I really liked what I saw. So I'm getting a little bit hungry now.
How long?
Another 3 or 4 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
Barrington has struggled from the start. He struggled with the soup, he struggled cooking the fish, and now he's struggling with the main courses. So Barrington has really got his work cut out. I don't know how he's going to get out of the hole that he's dug himself into.
It's going to be about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm really sorry about you waiting. Do you want any more drinks or anything while you're waiting?
No, we're OK. As long as it's 3 or 4 minutes, it's fine.
Yeah,
thanks.
all right, thank you.
Eleanor, quietly going about her job, working the tables well, no real complaints. Interestingly enough, Eleanor is the boss.
Just keep going as best as you can with the tables.
Yeah.
Yeah?
While Barrington and Eleanor are running on pure adrenaline, Gavin and Lucinda are a well-oiled machine.
Right, so you got your duck, OK?
Yes.
With your extra veg, you got your halibut, and chips extra should have gone, yeah?
But as Marco suspected, their strategy of pre-cooking is compromising the quality.
I quite liked the saffron sauce that went on the top, and the cabbage was nice underneath, but sadly the halibut was actually quite cold and a little bit dried out.
So I've got 2 ducks, 2 halibuts, and a steak medium.
Yes, chef.
After a disastrous start to service, experienced chef Angela has taken control and main courses are flying out of the kitchen. Halibut with pea puree and lemon butter, duck breast with apple sauce and cider, and sirloin steak with classic mash and red wine jus.
Okay, on the pass, please.
Julia, she really struggled. She's now sort of stabilised herself, but she smiled all the way through. Angela, quiet, quite solid. I'd say so far the best food is peak.
Sorry to interrupt, just wondered how your food was.
The food was great. Actually. It made up for the poor service.
Steak, didn't you?
The steak was great. You'll enjoy that.
They all switched.
10 minutes left, Mr. Gregg, to get out all your puddings.
Thank you. What are you looking for? Where is my blowtorch?
Gavin is first to plate up his desserts of double espresso creme brulee. But it's not running so smoothly for Barrington.
goes with the duck now?
Pardon?
What goes with the duck?
Barbecue sauce and chocolate.
These.
It's man down in the Gold Kitchen, and with only 5 minutes of service remaining, over half their diners will be lucky to be fed at all.
About in a steak and a fish. How long?
I'm just waiting for that fish now.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it's going to be... What do you need from me now, Eleanor?
Steak and a fish, please.
A steak and a fish.
Yeah, medium rare. Steak.
Yeah, it's in there.
Steak, potatoes, Creole, fish, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barrington?
Yes.
You've still got over 50% of your tables waiting to be fed.
I know. Trying as hardest to get them out.
You're trying your hardest not to feed them?
No.
Are you sure, Barrington?
I'm positive.
Did you think it would all end like this, Barrington?
I think we've done well. I do think we've done well. Eleanor's done well, I've done well. I don't know how everybody else has done well, but we've done well. So what do you want from me now, Eleanor? One fish and one...
Steak.
And one steak.
We've been waiting here for probably about an hour now from our starter. We're a little bit concerned because there's another 2 or 3 tables around that were here before us, so it's looking like we'll be here for a while.
Coming up, as service staggers to an end...
Every table's had pudding.
Unfortunately, your dessert's going to come straight out.
It's decision time for Marco.
So the couple that will join me in my grand finale is...
In the Battle Kitchen, there are just 3 minutes left of service, and in the Blue Restaurant, desserts are flying out.
It's a creme brulee with Tia Maria jelly.
While the Purple Kitchen are sending their last mains.
Are they enjoying the food, the punters?
Yeah.
No complaints? Well, take those two, take
like...
those two, take those two.
But in the Gold Restaurant, over half the diners are yet to have a main course.
Just carry on till the end. That's all we do, carry on to the end.
You've got just a little over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in 2 minutes, Barrington?
I'm going to try serve a couple of people a couple of cheesecakes.
Good.
Because I know definitely that I'm not going to get none of that food on there for them.
Gavin's strategy of cooking banquet style means his desserts are out and he's schmoozing the diners.
How are we doing? How's everything? Enjoying everything okay?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good, good. Welcome to this madhouse.
Thank you.
Sugar, is it? So you're enjoying it? Good, good. Nice to see you. Good. Thank you. Say that, yeah. How are we doing? Glad you enjoyed it. Good luck. Thank you.
Every table's had pudding?
Yes.
Including that table over there in the corner?
No. There's one more table to have.
You've got 2 minutes of service left.
OK. Unfortunately, your dessert's going to come straight out because we're under a bit of a time limit.
The Purple Kitchen have found focus, and Angela is sending out her bread and butter pudding.
Ladies first. You're welcome. Thank you. There we go.
Sorry. The time's already out.
I won't get the food on.
60 seconds left, Barrington. End of service. Plates down, plates down, plates down.
With service over, it's time for the soul searching to begin.
No, we're not allowed to do anything. We're not allowed to do anything now. Excuse me. I suppose I can go and apologise to my guests, can I? I can.
Good, well. You can't please everybody, and you made a few boo-boos.
Yeah.
We're all right, though.
Yeah.
Well done. Give me 5. Don't cut yourself anymore.
No.
No, I'm pleased.
I thought it was a...
Could we have done any more?
Probably.
The couples have worked flat out all day, but how has it gone down with the diners?
We came for a meal and we haven't had a meal. We've had a bit of fish on green astroturf, and now we're getting a dessert. It's just not good enough. It's awful.
Very helpful, and also I thought the fish was really well cooked. I would say service versus food, probably food just has the edge.
Just say the starter was absolutely fantastic. The service was a bit sloppy to begin with. We had to wait about 15 minutes for the wine, but the food is magnificent.
I had fish. The fish was very dry.
The sauce was delicious, but the cabbage was a bit boring. Unfortunately, it didn't have much flavour, and I think it's probably because the fish was so dry.
It's time for Marco to decide who will take the last place in his grand finale.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Angela, what you did show me is without question, you are the best cook. Julia, you must be glad it's all over. Barrington, one thing that you did show me is that you have a heart. Eleanor, Barrington told me that you would up your game. You did. You did really well. Mr. Gregg, I thought you were cooking a banquet. You fed everybody to an adequate standard. Lucinda, you had a wobbly start. But then you picked yourself up off the floor, didn't you? I have reason to send you all home. But I have to make a decision. So the couple that will join me in my grand finale is... Mr. Gregg and Lucinda.
Really, really happy. As you can see. Can't believe it.
We're a little bit deflated because we didn't win, but we're still happy that we've been and we've done the competition and cooked with Marco Pierre White.
We are bloody exhausted. We're feeling very exhausted, yeah. It's been a very long process.
I really didn't expect the battle kitchen to be this difficult or this stressful.
Mr. Gregg, he cooked simpler food. He fed all his diners within 1 hour 45 minutes. The only one of the 3 contestants. He listened to what I had to say.
Over the moon. Oh, really, really chuffed. No, really, seriously chuffed, yeah, and glad everybody enjoyed it and knackered, and I'm going to have a pint tonight like you've never seen.
Next time, it's the grand finale. The battle kitchen gets bigger and tougher.
People are freaking out that I didn't give them a choice.
4 restaurants under one roof.
Is that the last table?
Yeah, no.
Ultimately, my ravioli's doomed.
It's every couple for themselves.
Shut the up and get over there, yeah?
Whoa. You want to play like that? No problem. Bring it on.
There can only be one winner.
The winner is...
Find out who it is next Thursday night at 8. And there's an almighty showdown assured in just a moment as Alex Polizzi heads for Essex to get a family to pull together for the sake of their business. The new series, The Hotel Inspector, continues in just a tick. Stay right where you are.